It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show. I heard them saying that we lost diversity in rap. How the fuck is that when y'all just been supporting trap? I'm charged up like jumper cables, dropping with no label, breaded up like bagels, finna wipe these niggas off the map. I got some shit in the tuck you ain't heard of, sipping Bloody Mary, my lyrics on bloody murder. Your name in my journal circled, I'm riding with your beach, yeah, we out at Myrtle. The second coming to greatness, I feel like color purple. I'm on the level y'all ain't ready for. Shouted want the wood, I'm a cutting board. Been a legend in Atlanta, bitch, I'm Pastor Troy. Pretty boy, but that money finna pull a Floyd. The jewels sparkle in that water, pass me a LaCroix. River Daily, it never needed an alias. Independently checking my Nikes, came from them avias. I've been on my hustle, car shuffle, niggas hearts muffled. If you want trouble, got muscle like WrestleMania. Boy, stop, we looking at Porsche drives. Been rapping 20 years, I'm insuring my boy's box. They call me unorthodox, I'm orthodontic when it come to profit. Safety first, but let me switch the topic. Y'all rappers all in my DMs to promote your tracks. Every morning logging in, I report the trash. You gotta take it on the chin if you want it bad. I'm used to it, I've been through it. I'm using my point of view as an influence. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Now, in this particular video, we're going to be talking about Cardi B and Tasha K as they have finally gotten all of their issues resolved. It's been damn near, 5-6 years almost since all of this defamation and court proceedings and lawsuits and going back and forth, trying to get some straightening. Everything seemed like they got it resolved. I mean, there was an apology from Tasha K. Cardi B was sympathetic and empathetic to the apology at one point. Then Tasha came out and started disparaging her again. Cardi said, "You will never get the opportunity to play on my top again." And all of that has led to this moment where everything has been seemingly resolved. Now, this is not a definitive ending, right? So what we're dealing with here is Tasha K, from the previous judgment from the courts, she owed Cardi B $3.9 million in damages. With the latest update from their court hearing, they've agreed to a payment plan over the next 5 years in which Tasha K will have to pay Cardi B in the upwards of $1.178 million, almost $1.2 million. So she's shaving off over $2 million in payments, basically for guaranteed money, because Tasha K has been avoiding her payments. She's been investing money in offshore accounts. She's been trying to cover her tracks with her business and put her business in her husband's business name and did all of these different things to try to evade her outstanding debts and balances to keep cash flow coming in for herself. I did a video a few months ago talking about that. I even talked about the prospect of Cardi B taking a lesser amount of money, you know what I'm saying, to get this thing over with, because Cardi B, she's going on Spaces. And she literally said at one point, you know, keeping this thing alive is really costing me money. I'm paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to my lawyers, and we're filing and we're keeping this thing active. We're trying to chase this money down. I'm getting tired of fucking chasing you, right? So at one point, Cardi B was even trying to get Tasha K's bankruptcy situation withdrawn and tossed out so that there was no way that she could avoid the payments, right? Now with this new update in the courts, Cardi B has agreed to, put her bankruptcy grievance to rest, which means she won't be pursuing that any longer. And again, Tasha K has a 5-year plan in which she will have to pay her nearly $1.2 million. So let's get into some of the paperwork here. I'm not going to make this an extra long video. We're not going to read everything from top to bottom, just the key points. So y'all may not be able to see it here, but at the bottom, it says total of payments. One is general unsecured creditors quarterly. There's another of general unsecured creditors yearly. And then there's Cardi B, right? And you can see that there's a 5-year plan here in which she's going to have to pay quarterly. So that's 4 times a year to go towards Cardi B to amass the totals that we see in order to get her squared away, right? So in the first year, she's going to have to pay Cardi B $176,000, $532.50. Year 2, she's going to have to pay $219,775.70. Year 3, she will have to pay Cardi B $226,270.04. Year 4, she's going to have to pay $237,080.84. And in the final year in that 5-year payment plan, she will be paying Cardi B $318,653. And what is that, 24 cents? Okay. Which will get her squared away at $1.178 million. And all of this is, remember, completely avoidable. This is all from online harassment, defamation, and disparaging her in a hate campaign, talking about her family, creating lies about Cardi B's medical history, saying she had contracted STDs, all of these different things over the years. In the midst of Cardi B suing and pursuing legal action, Tasha K came out and she showed herself in a boxing ring, claiming that she was training so she could knock Cardi B out and all of these different things. She went way off the handle. It reminds us a lot of what we're seeing today from Milagro Grams, who we've been keeping a lot of tabs on lately because she can't seem to keep her mouth closed as she goes through the court process with Megan Thee Stallion. You would think somebody would learn from Tasha K's mistakes, but hey, everybody doesn't learn at the same speed or via the same medium. Some people can learn from the book. Some people need visual. Some people love the audio. You know what I'm saying? And some people just don't catch on, period. We'll see where she lands, right? But this is Tasha's situation. So here in the paperwork, there's even more details of the method of distribution. Now, keep in mind, Tasha K doesn't just owe Cardi B. She owes outstanding balances to the IRS, the bank, for a couple vehicles. I think she owes some money on other assets that she's accrued and things like that. So Cardi is not the only person she's paying out in this payment plan. She's just one of many, I guess you could say. But she's the most significant. So here's the method of distribution, meaning this is how everything's going to play out. So the consensual plan, if the plan of the debtor is confirmed under Section 119A of the Bankruptcy Code, the service of the trustee appointed under Subchapter 5 of Chapter 11, the subchapter trustee or trustee, in the case shall continue through the life of the plan. The debtor shall make all payments under the plan, including any deposits required by the plan to be distributed or on confirmation or through the life of the plan. Subject to Rule 9010 and except as otherwise provided herein, all distributions under a consensual plan shall be made by the reorganized debtor to the holder of each allowed claim at the address of such holder as listed in the schedule and or proof of claim as of the distribution record date, unless the debtor or reorganized debtor has been notified in writing of a change of address, including by the filing of a proof of claim by such holder that provides an address different from the address reflected on the schedules. B, any payment of cash made by the reorganized debtor pursuant to a consensual plan shall be made by check drawn on a domestic bank or by wire transfer. C, any payment or distribution required to be made under a consensual plan on a day other than a business day shall be made on the next succeeding business day. So if it's a Saturday, right, you'll pay on Monday. Any distributions of cash or other property pursuant to a consensual plan that is unclaimed for a period of 6 months after the distribution date shall constitute unclaimed funds, and any entitlement of any holder of any claim to such distribution shall be extinguished and forever barred. C, unless otherwise provided herein, all initial distributions and deliveries to be made on the effective date shall be made on the initial distribution date. Subsequent distributions shall be made in accordance with the terms set forth in the plan. Okay, at the close of business on the distribution record date, the claims register shall be closed, and there shall be no further changes in the record holders of any claims. The debtor shall have no obligation to recognize any transfer of any claims occurring after the distribution record date, provided, however, that the foregoing will not be deemed to prohibit the sale or transfer of any claims subsequent to the distribution record date, blase blah. Now here it says, if the debtor fails to timely make any payment due under the plan, the trustee may file and serve a notice of delinquency upon the debtor and the debtor's attorney. So this is if she fails to make any payments. You know what I'm saying? If she falls behind, right? This is a contingency plan to say, we still gonna get our money. The debtor shall have 30 days from the date of the notice of delinquency to make all payments due under the plan, including any payments that become due within the 30-day period, right? So that means if you fall short and you miss a payment with me, you have 30 days to get your money together and pay me. Not only that, but you will also have to pay me any money that you continue to owe me into the next month. So don't think just because you squared me off on the first payment you missed that you ain't got to pay the next one in the next 30 in this 30-day period. So you might want to do it on time so you ain't paying double. If the debtor is not current with planned payments on the 30th day after the date of the notice of delinquency and has not filed a motion to modify within that time period, the trustee will file and serve a report of noncompliance, and the trustee and or any creditor or party in interest may thereafter seek the dismissal or conversion of the case to Chapter 7, which means, because remember, Cardi was trying to pursue the Chapter 7. So there's that. Be basically back at square one. Okay. Let's see here. And this is just making sure everybody gets their bread. We ain't got to go too deep into it. Now, here's another key point in the paperwork. This is a non-disparagement clause. Because again, I told y'all that Tasha has a penchant for making content about Cardi or others. This is where they say she can't. So here, as a condition of the debtor's subchapter 5 plan of reorganization, the debtor on behalf of herself and her estate, her heirs and her affiliated entities and the representatives, agents, employees, and contractors of debtor, her estate, her heirs, blah, 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 and any other company in which the debtor has a direct or indirect interest, agrees not to publicly make, publish, or communicate, whether directly or indirectly, any derogatory, disparaging, or defamatory statements, remarks, or comments, okay, about Miss Almanzar, her family, and of course, Almanzar is Cardi's last name, her family members, including without limitation her children born prior to or after the petition date, husbands, siblings, parents, step-parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, nieces, nephews, and cousins, excluding any cousins more removed than second cousins, and or any all entities owned or controlled by Ms. Almanzar, collectively the Almanzar parties, so that will also mean assets that she owns, companies, etc., in any public form or medium, including but not limited to social media accounts, websites, blogs, or other communication channels, and including but not limited to those owned or controlled fully or partially by the debtor parties and or by Shiknakibi and or by Yellen Entertainment LLC, and further including but not limited to Unwind with Tasha K, the Wine Cellar Podcast, or Tasha K Live. So she can't mention nothing negative or defamatory, period, derogatory about Cardi, her family, her companies, nothing, right? The debtor shall ensure that no content related to Ms. Almanzar and or her family, whether explicitly or implicitly, and implicitly means indirect, will be published or disseminated on any of the debtor's social media accounts, websites, blogs, etc. Which means people are going to be keeping tabs on that website too, because she has a private website where she can put up her own content without being published to YouTube. But if somebody is subscribed to the website and they see her talking about Cardi B, her family, her companies, etc., and they report it, that also will get her in trouble, right? So she has to make sure to stay clear. Any of the Almanzar parties not known to be related to Almanzar by the debtor and or by the general public shall be referred to herein as an unidentified Almanzar party. To the extent a prohibited comment is made with respect to an unidentified Almanzar party, Almanzar or any persons acting on her behalf shall give written notice to the debtor and her counsel, Chad Van Horn, via email at Tasha K. whatever. Emails. So they say if there happens to be anyone that's related to Cardi B that's outside of the scope of who they labeled, or somebody that we may not know is related to her, then there would have to be an email communication letting it be known, hey, this person is part of the family or part of the Almanzar party, right? The debtor party shall have 48 hours from receipt of the prohibited comment violation notice to remove any content constituting a prohibited comment from any place, including but not limited to social media platforms, and including but not limited to those owned or controlled by the debtor parties or any company owned or controlled fully or partially by Shikna Kibi, including without limitation Yellen Entertainment, and thus cure any violation of the non-disparagement agreement. Okay? Once an unidentified Almanzar party has been identified as related to Almanzar, such party shall no longer be deemed an unidentified Almanzar party. This provision remains in place for the debtor for the duration of this Subchapter 5 plan of reorganization under the Bankruptcy Code, which means 5 years, unless it extends, in which if she remains delinquent, we already know what's going to happen with that, and she might be subject to interest. Failure to implement a timely cure to any violation within this provision shall constitute a material breach of the plan and may result in additional legal remedies sought by Ms. Almanzar, including without limitation the legal right to seek dismissal of the debtor's bankruptcy case or conversion to a Chapter 7 of the Bankruptcy Code. So that's what's going to happen, right? So she can't say anything negative about Cardi, her family, or anyone associated with them while this is active, 5 years. And I will hope after the debt is paid off that she would still continue not to talk about Cardi, because clearly it's not going to be beneficial to you. Any money you're going to make, you're going to end up paying it back out. Doesn't make any sense. So that's where we stand with this whole Cardi B, Tasha K thing, man. She did accept a lesser value in the judgment, you know what I'm saying? Because she's been pursuing this for many years. There was many snags. She tried to avoid having to pay up. Cardi's having to pay out more legal fees than really what she would be getting in return from Tasha. So I guess everything is being made square in the best way that they can. She's still going to get $1 million out of it, which we already know. I mean, Tasha K makes she makes good money. I didn't want to show her finances in the previous video, but she makes good money off YouTube. She made over $800,000 so far off Tasha K live on stage with her live shows and stuff like that. She puts a lot of that money back into the business, so it's not really profitable. But anybody that can make $800,000 plus on stage doing, relatively small shows, they got something going on, right? So although she has money, it's tied up, right? She's got other things going on. So, hey, $1 million, $1 million. Shit. So let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Become an insider. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
King of
my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda, we hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer, we come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.